Hello everyone, I am Aluminium Man and I am back with a brand new video. Today, we're going to be discussing the truth about Marvel's Avengers, or more specifically, the true intentions I believe the game designers have with this game. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock recently, it is a brand new narrative-based game created by game designers Crystal Dynamics. Now, if you haven't heard of these guys before, they've been creating a long series of Lara Croft games since way back in 2006. So they know a thing or two about focusing on a great story over many years. It's currently slated for a 4th of September release. However, I don't think that many people are as excited for it as they should be after having been watching these incredible heroes on the big screens for 11 years. Now we're all going to get the chance to smash as Hulk, disobey the laws of physics with Captain America, and even summon the Bifrost with the God of Thunder himself. I won't go into too much detail about the main story, which centres around Kamala Khan, which you comic book fans will know her as Miss Marvel, because we can save that for another video and go into a lot more detail. Now, we have seen many superhero games released over the years. However, this game is going to be going in a completely different direction to that seen before. Now, I really want to get into some juicy information that the studio head of Crystal Dynamics, Scott Amos himself, has said. Let's just take a look at this quote. If we look at the main campaign, that's kind of Kamala in that perspective as the point of view character, reassembling your heroes, getting through the campaign, understanding AIM and MODOK, and that story. And that's just getting your team together. This quote basically sums up the start of the game, what we're all going to get and play from release. However, that will change, as Scott Amos then goes on to say, as we start adding more heroes and more regions, we actually will add more stories, like full stories that actually have a front and an end, and like, hey, we're introducing a new hero and here's an actual story arc through that particular region that they may be a part of. And this also includes brand new villains. So after AIM, named villains will start showing up. This world continually expands. It starts with AIM, and it's very much about understanding AIM and the situation with them. And that will start evolving further and further as we get more content released month to month, and even months past that. Now, one of the most important things to come from this announcement is of month to month content updates. And I believe if they really commit to the consistent updates, this game has the potential to be huge. Just look at the potential that Battlefront 2 had before EA decided to pull the plug. So let me just repeat myself. This will essentially be an ever-evolving game that grows with stories and characters, potentially getting bigger and bigger and more dangerous. Something worth noting is that Titan Books are actually going to release a prequel comic, which is going to set up the game's events in motion. In this comic, we're going to be introduced to both Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo, which is very interesting because going off the month-to-month updates and the announcement of introduction of more heroes, it's very likely that Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo could be introduced soon as one of the newer heroes, having already been introduced in the prequel comic. Who knows? At some point down the line, we could be introduced to the region of the multiverse and exploring that story arc with Doctor Strange. Now, I may be getting overexcited about this. Most likely we could start by visiting Wakanda and being introduced to characters like Black Panther and villains like Ulysses Claw, or even taking a deep dive down to the depths of Atlantis and seeing characters like Namor even show up. Just look at this quote again from Scott Amos. Some of the hooks we cast into the water on day one, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. AIM has this undersea base. It's doing some cool technology. I wonder if that ever goes somewhere. And then later we pay that off with, oh my gosh, that's tied to this, and now this other character showing up. Those types of arcs are things we're starting at the core level, and then adding these heroes, regions, and villains at no additional cost. No additional cost. Let me repeat myself. No additional cost. So not only are Crystal Dynamics announcing that there's going to be month-to-month updates, these updates are going to be free. Other than these standard cosmetic items, that will be unlockable through microtransactions. Players will not need to pay to access new heroes, villains, and missions. Now, I think this is key because I think their intention is for everyone to be able to keep up to date with the continual evolution of this game and the stories within it. I believe the intentions of this game that Crystal Dynamics have is to essentially build a Marvel gaming universe. Just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think what we're going to be seeing is a real game changer. You might think that's a bit of a big task to pull off. However, there are many more things that can be done within games, that can be done within films, so it will be interesting to see how they execute it. Now, of course, as a big comic book fan, speculation is no stranger, as most of us spent 11 years speculating about the future of the MCU. Time we will never get back, but time very well spent. But just like the MCU, we're already getting small hints as to the future direction of this game. Just how big they want to take this game is yet unseen. However, its potential we could see, maybe in a few years, teaming up with tens of heroes to take on a Thanos level threat. I doubt, of course, that it will actually be Thanos. He got all his glory in both Infinity War and Endgame, so it's likely Crystal Dynamics have got different paths in mind. We could be seeing a universe level threat, maybe even Galactus. Let's just not lose our heads just yet, and keep going off what we officially get announced from the designers themselves. Before we all lose our heads, the game is called Marvel's Avengers, so it's more than certain that the characters being introduced will be those more directly related to the Avengers roster. Of course, this is all speculation. I may be proven wrong in about a year's time, so before anyone goes all keyboard warrior down in the comments, this is just my opinion. However, there is a lot more information to read on this if you guys do want to know more, but now I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And which character would you most want to see and play as in this game? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all things related to Marvel's Avengers. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.